Welcome back, Bobcat fans. We are here with our head acrobatics and tumbling coach, Katie Nunley, who is here to give a short recap of their regular season and conference championship season, as well as a preview to their selection into the national finals. Coach, it's been quite the historic season for us here at Frostburg State. We had a talk in the middle of the year for you guys about a mid-season update of how things were going. Now things have kind of increased a bit in terms of the volume and success that we've had. First off, winning a conference championship for the first time in our program history in just our third year, what does that mean to you, and what does it mean to your athletes as well?
It's definitely a goal that we've had since last year, going into the championship and then only losing by, a point and some. So that's been their main goal this past season. They've worked really hard for it, and they pushed through a lot of things that happened throughout the season with injuries and just so on and so forth, the typical things that happen. And they came out on top, and they really left everything out on the mat, and, they proved that they deserve that.
When we talked in the middle of the season as well, you had laid out sort of your plan that when you were first hired of what goals you'd like to accomplish in your first 3 years and your first 5 years. And now you've kind of accelerated that a little bit, to say the least. But to come in as a head coach here and have these athletes with you all the way, obviously the support from the administration as well, giving you guys support there. What does this, kind of mean and go towards looking at the future, even where, when you're planning now your 3 and 5 year goals for the future, how much does that affect those?
So yeah, I definitely have to go back to the drawing board. I've just talked with our athletic director, Troy, about that, and I was like, yeah, I need to kind of realign what those goals are. But I think it happened at a great time. I think now we have a new standard that the program is going to be held to, and I think that it should be that standard because there's no reason why a third year, fourth year program shouldn't be qualifying for nationals and shouldn't be able to hang with those top seeded teams.
Some of those top-seeded teams that we talked about again in the middle of the year when we were about to travel to Baylor, a very great experience. It seemed that all the athletes and yourself really enjoyed that trip. And then another trip to take on, at the time, the fourth team in the country, Quinnipiac. Both losses and the only losses for the team this year. But, and we talked going into those, it wasn't so much about the result as it was about the performances. What in those meets, from the performances that we saw, gave you some hope, or what did you take away from those performances going into the last part of the season?
Especially for Baylor, my goal for them was just to compete against themselves and really prove to them that there should not be any difference between a number one versus a Division II program, and they proved that and showed themselves that they are just as talented. We might not have that D1 or that BU on our uniforms, but we are doing the same exact skills, just a little bit different, but we're still scoring the same as well. And same going in with Quinnipiac. It wasn't our best meet, but we definitely learned a lot. It prepped us, I think, in ways that we didn't realize for the championship going back to back. We had a late travel and so on with that. But, everything happens for a reason, and we all talked about it going into the championship, and they were like, we're tired, but we were tired going into Quinnipiac, and that really prepped us, and that's why we're ready for today. So, yeah.
And then this past Monday, the NCATA announced their top 8 seeds that will be in the national tournament. When you find out that you're the 7th seed and you're going to qualify for your first ever tournament, what was the reaction around the team, and what sort of steps are you going to take to be able to prepare and get this team mentally ready for kind of a whole new level of competition where you're going to see all of the top teams in the country and not just one at a time?
Yeah, so the team was ecstatic. It was a goal of ours, and we had talked about it and tried to manifest it, and it just so happened to come to life this year. Originally our goal was just to qualify for event finals, and now we're actually going and we're going to be competing against Oregon, which is, going against Baylor, Azusa, or Quinnipiac. So I think it's going to be another eye-opener for them, and just for them to be able to focus on themselves, because it's not a competition that they need to worry about going against Oregon. We can definitely hang with them and score well against them. So I just want them to put Frostburg out on the map, which we've already done, but continue to do so, and just for them to enjoy it and take it all in, because it's an experience unlike any other.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck there. And as we saw with the live stream from the Baylor feed and the Quinnipiac feed, that the Frostburg fans certainly like to travel, and it being in West Liberty is a lot closer for them, that we hope we're going to have a great crowd out there. Best of luck to you, the team as well, and the NCATA finals.
Thank you very much.